Welcome to this presentation of Worcester Art Museum's Legacy of Educational Partnerships, created by Elizabeth Buck, Manager of Studio Class Programs, and Aileen Novick, Manager of Public and Education Programs. This presentation is part of WAM's virtual Give-a-thon today. If you enjoyed this video and all the work that WAM does, we hope that you'll make a gift by midnight tonight. Thank you for your support. The Worcester Art Museum has had community at its heart since its founding in 1896. That legacy continues today. We're going to share with you the many ways the Education Department partners with schools, other nonprofit organizations, and the City of Worcester to build a strong community of educated and passionate citizens for whom art becomes a hallmark of their lives. The pandemic inspired WAM to explore online art classes, which turned out to be very successful and spread to our partner programs as well. We were approached by Open Door Arts in the fall of 2020 with the idea to provide arts programming for the Seven Hills Aspire program. We piloted a virtual weekly art class based on the elements of art and design with inspiration from WAM's collection and Open Door Arts exhibits. The program began in November and went through June. This academic year, we expanded the program to include an in-person portion, and the programs will again meet for about 30 weeks, November through June. The 2021-22 theme is many types of art, and projects in both the virtual and in-person class are connected but not duplicative, so participants can enjoy both programs. The online virtual class interacts with about 40 students a week, and the on-site class hosts about 10 students a week. We look forward to continuing this programming in the future. Originally a joint effort between the Massachusetts Art Educator Association and the Worcester Art Museum, Art Allstate began in 1987 with the goal of providing support for young artists, specifically high school juniors. Pictured here are images of the last two Art Allstates held at the museum in 2019 and 2020-2021. Participants in Art Allstate say the program is educational, important, and enlightening and helps them make decisions about their future. Art Allstate is planning to take a sabbatical in 2022, but we look forward to welcoming them back in 2023. The Clemente Course in the Humanities is a national award-winning college-level seminar for highly motivated, low-income adults seeking to build better lives for themselves, their families, and their communities. Worcester's Clemente program is sponsored by Mass Humanities in partnership with Worcester County Poetry Association and other local organizations and donors committed to making a significant difference in this world. The Worcester Art Museum has been pleased to host the Worcester Clemente class, providing the distinction of the only Clemente class held in an art museum, a perfect place to study humanities. The class of about 25 students meets twice a week in the evening, visits museum exhibitions throughout the year, and participants often visit WAM with their families after graduating, feeling a sense of comfort and belonging at WAM that they might not have otherwise manifested. This year's Clemente class is nearing its conclusion, but we look forward to meeting next year's class in September. The Worcester Art Museum is happy to collaborate with Open Door Arts Massachusetts, an affiliate of Seven Hills Foundation, to provide gallery space to promote, celebrate, and advocate for artists with disabilities. A series of rotating exhibits organized by Open Door Arts and use of the accessible studio space for Seven Hills programming is a great way to continue to promote accessibility and universal design for all. The space averages 4 to 6 exhibits a year, and pre-COVID hosted about 4 Seven Hills Aspire groups each week. For over a decade, the Worcester Art Museum has been proud to host the Worcester Public Schools AP Art History class. This year, the program has doubled in size from an average of 25 students to 50 students. WAM provides a central place for the students from the multiple Worcester high schools to gather, offering both hands-on art studios and lecture rooms in close proximity. The ability to have students visit primary sources in the galleries makes WAM a prime location for the class. The Education Department often takes in teen interns from the AP class and provides a gallery space in the Higgins Education Wing for their capstone exhibit. For the past several decades, the Worcester Art Museum has partnered with the Massachusetts Art Education Association and hosted the Worcester Regional Youth Art Month show during the month of March. Coordinated by art teachers, students in grades K through 12 can submit up to 4 works for the exhibit. WAM often hosts up to 400 works of art for this regional show. A highlight of the year is providing prizes and an exhibit celebration near the end of the show. The Worcester Child Development Head Start program has partnered with the Worcester Art Museum for the past 4 years. Although visits to the Art Museum were cut short during the second year of the pandemic, the rich and meaningful partnership was able to continue virtually during the third year as students studied the Worcester wedding kimono and did lessons around it. We're happy that this year the students are able to return with their art teachers back to the Worcester Art Museum. This year they're studying the theme of children and art. Throughout the year, they visit the art galleries and art studios. These experiences spark children's interest and excitement while supporting the development of their knowledge of the creative arts. Topics of study are then extended into the Head Start classrooms, and their own art teachers can continue to explore and expand the children's knowledge and practice of art. With the support of a National Endowment for the Arts grant, WAM piloted the first Teen Council in July of 2021. The council is comprised of 11 teens from throughout Worcester County. The individuals give us feedback on current programming and give ideas for new programs. The council members have participated by volunteering at community days, running art carts, and creating the work of art that went behind the Deck the Halls chain set. They're currently planning a teen exhibit to open on May 1st. We look forward to continuing to work with the Teen Council for years to come. The Worcester Art Museum's Education Department also partners with a number of reenacting groups to help bring our Higgins collection to life for visitors. We're currently partnered with Legio III Cyrenaica, a Roman living history group that strives to accurately portray the famous legion based in Alexandria, Egypt from 60 to 100 Common Era. We partner with the Company of the Wolf Argent, a reenacting group representing a company of 15th century Burgundian men-at-arms. This group employs period clothing and weaponry to offer a glimpse of daily life in the late Middle Ages. The Salem Train Band also often comes to the Worcester Art Museum to accurately recreate a 17th century English colonial militia unit from Salem, Massachusetts. The group in Salem dates back to 1628 and is a continuation of typical European military practices of the day. Occasionally, some of these reenactors will greet us with a timeline of soldiers so that we can portray how a soldier's life has changed over time from the 15th to 19th century Americas. The word docing comes from the Latin word docere, to teach. The Worcester Art Museum has a dedicated crew of volunteer docents who are lifelong learners. During the pandemic, the docents learned to provide virtual experiences for visitors. The docents continue to offer free bi-weekly zip-zoom tours to the public. You will also find the docents in the museum's galleries, where they broaden the experiences of visitors they meet. The docents conduct tours of both the museum's permanent collections and special exhibitions. They offer both prearranged and drop-in tours. The docents teach also through the museum's art cars. They serve audiences of all ages, abilities, and interests. Our docents reach a huge number of school children through the tours they provide. The docents also commit to continuing their own education through monthly education sessions. This year, the Worcester Art Museum is celebrating the 50th year of docent-led tours at the museum. In connection with our docent program, the Worcester Art Museum is happy to continue to serve as the Culture Leap field trip site for the Worcester Public Schools 4th grade classes. Culture Leap is for Learning Through Arts Partnerships. The Culture Leap initiative is a partnership among Worcester Public Schools, the Worcester Education Subcommittee of the Worcester Cultural Coalition, and the Worcester Educational Development Foundation. The Worcester Art Museum's education staff works closely with the Worcester Public Schools art curriculum specialists to create these 4th grade field trips. Our docents take groups of 4th graders through the museum and lead discussions about selected artworks using visual thinking strategies, or VTS. VTS is a facilitation discussion method that fosters collaborative community building dialogue. BTS allows students to bring their own thoughts and experiences to discussions about art with the docents and their classmates. Thank you for joining us and watching this video. Please consider making a gift to the Worcester Art Museum before midnight tonight. Your support allows the museum to hold programs like you just saw and so much more.